Alright, so I'm going to start this facial on my client here. I'm just using basic cotton. And the astringent, really, it's a matter of preference, so don't overthink it. So I'm carefully removing debris and any oils. It's going to get any leftover makeup or anything in the pores. She's got a recent piercing here, so we're going to be really careful on the delicate area. This is kind of as close to the in-salon experience as you're going to get, as far as making sure that you execute every step. And this is step one because it's just removing surface area. You're not going deep yet. This is something that you probably do daily, just removing surface area debris. Now what we're going to do is apply a cleanser for her skin type, and we've talked about it already, and she has normal skin to, I'd say, normal to combo skin. Right now it's summer, and that's usually when the oil pops in, and that's usually when we see a little bit of breakout or blackheads. So we are going to use a really gentle cleanser. Now the client brought her own cleanser. So this is the Canistel cleansing foam, which I'm going to take a guess that has maybe CBD oil in it. Is that? Okay. It says discover your pure natural beauty with this nourishing a little bit here. It seems to be gentler or something. It doesn't dry it out. Keep your eyes closed. We're going to just remove that. Because we're doing a facial, it's okay to do that rose water. If you were, say, just using the cleanser before your makeup or something to the like, then you would probably want to use regular water. You don't want to leave any residue or film behind. Now, I was trying to decide before we started which cleanser to use, and I noticed that my gorgeous client here had some Cetaphil on hand, and it's really one of the best cleansers that are made, honestly. It's very gentle, it's good for sensitive skin, and it also kind of matches every skin type, no matter what you're dealing with. It won't break you out. Most people can tolerate it, even really sensitive skins, so that makes it really nice. Plus, it is available in drugstores and Amazon and pretty much anywhere. So, I'm going to use this with a little power brush here. This isn't a Mia or anything fancy, it's just a little drugstore version, and I've applied the sensitive skin brush head. Comes with one for sensitive and one that's more of what they call a power brush head. I think in this case the sensitive one is going to serve our purpose better. So just got a little bit of product here. I'm going to go right in with my brush head and just pick it up like that. Alright, start through the forehead and down the T-zone. Now, you want to do circular motions here. Doing these circles helps it to absorb into the skin. Being careful of her new piercing. We're going to step around it here on the side. You should make sure not to neglect the hairline through here. It's actually a great holder of sweat and of leftover beauty products, and for that reason can often break out in this little baby hair area. So it's important when doing a facial to not neglect that region. Make sure that it gets in, and also make sure that it is adequately removed when you're rinsing, because a product left behind can be just as much of an irritant and can tend to cause breakouts through here. So now we're going to take a cloth and remove. I'm going to wet this one with water. Your nose okay? Now, my little client here is the ripe age of 22, but if you are working with someone more mature, you may want to take it down the décolleté area, the neck and the chest. She's got youth on her side, not that she would benefit from it, but in this particular instance, we've got her décolleté covered, and so I did want to make mention of it. Next, we're going to do an exfoliation. Same that. We're going to use this Enzyme Peel. This is a papaya peel made by LMS. So I'm simply going to get a little bit like that. And we're going to get it on every surface. This isn't a product that has to be massaged in. So we're going to leave that there, and in 10 minutes we will use lukewarm water to gently remove that. So I will see you in 10 minutes. So she's still got the papaya enzyme peel on her face, but we are applying steam, and that's going to open the pores and let some product in. It also lets it absorb a lot more readily. Now when you're steaming, you might want to add essential oils. Then you can blend your own and use them, and it makes for a better experience for your client, and it also makes the room smell a little better as well. So got some sandalwood here, peppermint, lavender, and orange, and then some other blends too. So next I'm going to apply these cucumber pads. These are soothing on the eyes, but they also are very moisturizing. They've got a complex in them that is great for the under eye area. They come with several in a pack, and there are 2 inside of each sealed package. So what you want to do is you're going to pull them apart like so. I'm going to place these on your eyes, okay? I think that one opportunity that gets missed often is the opportunity to treat the entire eye area. Many times you see simple under eye creams, when in actuality treating this inner area and all of the upper lid is very beneficial. It smooths it down. It's kind of like a good primer for eye makeup, but it also depuffs. I think people don't realize that you get puffy eyes all the way around, not just underneath. So be very cautious and mindful, and just make sure that you treat this area. So now that we have opened her pores with steam, we're going to do a bit of extractions. And I'm looking through the T-zone. I see a little bit here that can be worked with. Usually you're going to see them in this area and right through here. That's very common. And since she's got normal skin, she's got a normal amount of blackheads. Can you tilt back just a little? Perfect. That's perfect. Just a little right there. Let's see. It actually looks pretty good. I think the most is right through here on your nose. And even those are very small. Am I hurting you? Is it sore? Okay. Sometimes it can sting just a tad. But also, when you are executing the facial, you always should be sure to ask if they would even like extractions, because not everyone is interested in having that experience. Sometimes they just want a good facial massage and to be on their way. And we offer that as well. Now is a great time to go back in with the toner, which is also an astringent, and close those pores up, get them nice and clean again. There is something rather satisfying about applying the astringent after the extractions, because it tends to tighten up those areas where it's just been kind of interrupted or picked at, and so it's soothing and a little bit satisfying to get that cleaned up, if you will. Again, paying attention to these baby hairs or the little side areas here. And now it's time for the facial massage. We are going to be using a roller here, but also just regular massage techniques using my hands and maybe some jojoba oil. That's up to you. That's a personal preference. You can also do lotion, some type of moisturizer in lieu of the oil. Are you okay with the oil? Okay. Sometimes your clients will be afraid of oil because they believe that it will make their oily skin oilier, and that's not the science. That's not how it works. But you can rest assured and have your client feel comfort in knowing that they can use a lotion instead if that's their concern. I'm going to use this jojoba oil, which is just a wonderful oil. I've also got some argan oil, apricot oil, whatever you have on hand. But this is one of the most luxe, I guess, one of the nicer oils that I have. So we'll be using that for this nice quarantine facial. Okay. Take a little piece of cotton here. Thing about the facial massage is that it really takes so little. You want to just lightly tap it on. And there we go. Now, were we not recording a video, this might be where I choose to kind of just shut up, be quiet, and usually the client does not want to hear about your cat and your dog and your life. They usually would like to relax during this portion. So I'm going to talk to you all instead of talking to my client. And basically, I'll say that these quarantine situations are allowing us kind of freedoms as such. We think of it as being stuck indoors, but essentially it's almost the opposite, in that we are now free to kind of do things that would have been indulgent a month ago. I wouldn't have necessarily been sitting here giving a facial. I would have maybe been thinking about, I don't know, sourcing for my Poshmark or studying for school or a myriad other of a long list. But instead I get to do what I enjoy, which is make these videos for you all. And so I will be taking requests for the next interactive video as such. Many of you know that my videos are solely me. I don't usually have a visitor in a video, but we've kind of come to terms with it, and we're going to be changing it up. For example, maybe a facial with gemstones, or maybe an all-natural facial with things that you can find in your kitchen for quarantine time. Or maybe not a facial at all. Maybe we do an interactive hair or makeup. And I know that you all are going to jump on the makeup bandwagon, so if you're going to give me 100 requests for makeup, then please be specific. Are you wanting to see dramatic look, or are you wanting to see all drugstore makeup? So try to give me some ideas, if you will. So now we've got her massage finished. I'm going to remove the cucumber pads. I'm going to spray some more of this Mario Badescu, the rose water. That's just to give a little slip to this product so that I can use my roller. Stay closed. I'm going to spray your face. And now I'm using the rose quartz roller. Many of you know this, but typically with the roller you want to roll upward and outward. There are of course exceptions to every rule, but generally this is how we do it. And then we use this smaller area to get in these little crevices and what have you. All right, so the name of this mask is literally translated here as black sucked out. So that tells me that their intention is to, of course, remove blackheads, which we've just done an extraction. So I don't think that we are going to be needing that much power behind our mask today. This one is an example of one of the masks that were on YouTube recently, and they're pretty painful. So for that reason, we're going to skip this one. Instead, we'll use this Cabela Professional Detoxifying Intense Black Peel Off Mask. Start here. Now you always want to give a fair warning before going in, so as not to frighten the client or just startle them when it's a bit cold, or maybe sometimes it's even warm and it's a bit unpleasant if there's no warning ahead of time. I would give yourself a thick enough layer that you're able to pull it from the sides, at least around the borders. Give yourself a starting point, like here. It might take a little bit longer to dry on that side, but when you go to remove it, you'll be glad. And now let's do this side. And we're going to let this dry. Coming off great. All right. I think your skin is going to glow today. It's going to be just beautiful. Being indoors and not getting lots of sun, lots of vitamin D, we sometimes let our skin just fall by the wayside, I think. But we've got an opportunity here to really make it glowy and pretty. So this is the Glow Up. I'm going to call it the COVID-19 Glow Up Facial. Now we're going to moisturize her skin. And she's got normal skin. And then we'll be also applying a serum. Now the serum sinks in deeper, so it needs to go in first. And that's what we're going to do now. This is by a K-beauty brand called Tony Moly. And you've seen me mention it before as well. It's a nice serum for any skin type. And we're going to massage that in right now. Drop there. You really need very little. And you will gently, almost barely touching her skin. You don't want to press down, put any pressure whatsoever. And I'm using only the smaller end. And there's not a lot of technique to it. You're basically applying it. it will do its own job of absorbing down into the layers of your skin. You may also take your fingers and just help it in a little bit. And now we're going to apply the Pond's. This is a 24-hour moisturizing cream. If you're quarantined with this person, then I'm going to guess that this is someone you're related to, and you may have /share products. Again, for your more mature clients, you want to be sure and wrap it down into the neck/décolleté area. I can feel a difference in her skin. It's bouncy, it's soft. There's no sign of dehydration or any problem whatsoever. Of course, she does have youth on her side, but many of you do as well. Some of you are old hags like me, but that'll be another video. We definitely don't want to neglect her lips, so I've got the Kiehl's #1 lip balm. I'm gonna just perfect. It takes so little of that. It really absorbs in. You gotta have your sunscreen. Now, we know that we're gonna be indoors and probably not that much in need of sunscreen as per usual, but my client happens to be one of the fortunate ones who is employed currently, and so she will be leaving the house. She will be out in the sun if there is any sun. Sounds like rain outdoors. My point being, she's one of the candidates for a sunscreen. We just want a light filming of it. Liquid foundations and powders tend to have a bit of sunscreen nowadays. And there you have it. Quick spritz just to finish it off. I'm going to spray your face. She is done. Can you tell that her skin is glowing and beautiful? And if I shine a little light here, you'll see that it's gorgeous and perfect.